Oh, I heard that you might be buying Hoovie's Eldorado. Is that true?
No, it's probably sold.
Well, hey y'all, welcome back to Doug's Cars. Got a nice little mission today that we're trying to do, heading up to Northern Virginia to pick up Reg. You might remember him from my video about Japanese classics. We're going to, he's also GW Wooderson, he has the 87 Grand Wagoneer. We're going up to Carlisle, Pennsylvania today to an import auto show. Not sure I'm going to show the Hoopty M3, but I'm trying to meet up with Jim McGill. He is the Also, that is his handle. I met him online last fall. They had gotten married in the States, he's from Ireland, and were driving an old Fiat right-hand drive model cross country. They ended up selling it for charity in California. Then he bought a box Volvo and drove it back across the country to the East Coast. And he happened to be driving through my hometown of Richmond, Virginia, when I was picking this car up and driving it back from Wichita, and I kind of joked, hey, you know, too bad we can't meet up. And he said, well, I will be in Carlisle in May with a different vehicle. So he has a Fiat Cinquecento, right-hand drive from, I believe, the late 80s, I could be wrong, that he's driving. There's also a Citroën C6 with French tags, which is, of course, very unusual here. And a Sterling, I think it's an 825 SLI. I think the 827 was the hatchback. This is the sedan that was driven out from Idaho. I believe it's also going to be there. So it's going to be a fun day. I'm going to hit the road, just stop to get some gas here at Mr. Fuel, and stay tuned. This is going to be a really fun day, I think. Well, we're making progress. Just want to do a quick sit rep and point out something that I guess I've really never talked about in this car, although I've driven it thousands of miles now. I went and got gas and reset my trip odometer. I've gone 51.7 miles since then, and this says I still can go 508 miles. How cool is that? 550 mile range in an M3. This is just really good on gas. Saw some interesting things along the way, as you always do when you drive up 95, and it's been a nice, cool drive. I had the top down just because why not? It's so much more peaceful when the top's not rattling, as they do. So yeah, next stop is to pick up Reg, and then we will be on our way to Carlisle. Well, I made it. First stop was just to pick up Reg, but want to do a quick video of Wooderson because I haven't in a long time. On a much different camera. So you can see he's got his lift going on there, and
Leak going on there.
well, it's a Jeep. It's gonna leak. I mean, that's
New leaks from
yesterday. Ranchos, nice. Oh, a new leak. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's going back to the shop.
Going back to the shop. Well, that's kind of the way it is with Jeeps.
Yeah.
Going back to the shop. All right, let's get on the road. We'll get up to Carlisle. Well, yeah, we made it here. Look, it's the Hoopty M3 at the field at Carlisle. This was fantastic. I got the first spot in the BMW section. I hope nobody minds. But so we're waiting for the Also to get here with his buddies and their slew of cars, which will be parked. Let's see, there's an English section down there, and it's got a Fiat and a Citroën. So it's going to be all over the field because this is kind of only the German stuff here at the entrance. But what a great spot I got. This is the second time I've had this car on a car show. I've never been in a car show before. I've gone to car shows, but never been in them as a contestant. So this is kind of cool, and just what a great way to spend the afternoon here. Also, here I am in the Renault section, and I had to start with a mighty Dacia. So these were actually Renaults that were reproduced in Romania. And then, of course, when was the last time you saw a Renault Alliance GTA? I'm guessing not a long time. And a regular Alliance at that. Wow. And a Renault 4. Well, of course, these were Renaults back then. Nobody said Renault in the US. Wow. You might recognize these seats are the same ones they put in the XJ Cherokees.
Oh yeah.
That's where those seats came from, was from the Renault design, yeah. Oh wow. A Trabi, well, and a Yugo, but more importantly, yeah, a little Fry. This car was made out of like Duroplast or something they called it. There was the plastic, like wood resin or something material they made it out of because they didn't have fiberglass or enough steel. Man, these are... And it's a two-stroke, so it's like a lawnmower engine, basically. Video. Nur fliegen ist schöner. Only flying is prettier. Yeah. Oh, they might be overstating it a little bit there, but it is still a cool car, and there really aren't too many of these left. I mean, they crushed most of these, and then they found out that they wouldn't ever biodegrade because of what they're made out of.
This model came luxuriously equipped with numerous options such as doors, steering wheel, and a full assortment of gauges.
Oh, it probably just has, yeah, exactly, one gauge, yeah.
One gauge.
And you shift up, like, the shifter's up. It's a manual, but you it's a column shift. Let's go take a look at this. Oh, hey, look at all the extra horsepower this Yugo has from the stickers. 5, 10, 15 extra horsepower. So this thing has like 40 now. It's hilarious. And then, oh, hey, what's right here? I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt, but I forgot my Detroit Tigers hat. Wonder if they'll let me pose in front of it anyway. Check out this awesome 240Z. It's even in like probably the most possibly best period correct color combination, like a bronze and bronze. And it's his 240. The only modification I can see are the kind of mini light style wheels. But and just look at that interior. It's got bumper overriders front and rear. And you could just eat off of that motor. I mean, what's a car show without a couple of Lambos? This Aventador SV, it's just phenomenal. The doors up. And then, we've got a Mercy. Looks like the top works on this one. Sorry, Tavares. And, the top's up on this one, so maybe it doesn't work. Huracan Performante, so this is brand new. I'm guessing the top works. It's probably still under warranty. Nice color. So this is a DKW Junior from Ontario, and it is the precursor to the Audi. You can see on the wheel cover, the wheel trims, it's already got the regular Audi logo, which I also have here on the grille. But DKW became Audi. There were several companies that came together. Nice wood trim dashboard and column shift. So here's something you don't see every day either. It's a bidder, which is an Opel Senator chassis, I believe, that was then converted by the Bidder Corporation to have this really like Ferrari 400 style body on it. You can tell it's obviously very early 1980s. Well, they drove this here from Illinois, so that kind of speaks to longevity. 1980s interior. Look at the pillow seats and the pillow armrest there. You can see it's got a 3-speed auto from the GM parts bin. It's a GM car underneath completely. It's got cruise, it's got all kinds of goodies. No sunroof, which is interesting, but this is a bidder, and you may never see another one. So here we have probably, I would say my second favorite modern BMW design after the E34 7 Series. I'm sorry, the E38 7 Series. The E34 is a 5 Series. This is the E39 5 Series. This is a 2003 530i, judging by the wheels, with the sport package. Yes, it is. Highly optioned. It's got parking sensors. What a nice color. I had two of these. I had a black manual sports package with manual air conditioning, and then a green non-sports package. Both were 525s, both were 2001, that I converted to sports package because I had a broken spring, and so I just went ahead and got the sports package springs. These are just some of the most, they're just a classy design. They don't have any of the affectations of the later cars. It's not full of all kinds of air vents that are unnecessary. Those air vents down there, they work. And it's just a great color. And I mean, I had the same interior, and it's just really nicely done in there. I had that same beige, sand beige interior, that 3-spoke wheel, the same burl walnut. It's got this is a really highly optioned car. It's got the sat nav. Very nice. Huh. Had that sticker on the same spot too. Amazing the kind of things that you can see here. we had like 6 raindrops. I realize there's a very dark cloud up there that I'm pointing at repeatedly. But everybody with a convertible except for me was kind of bailing. But there's nothing on the radar. And I'm not sure why. It's not that late in the day. Oh, there's Reggie taking a picture of the wheel. It is not even 4 o'clock. There's a really nice Z car. 74 240Z. Oh, here comes a nice Audi. Ooh. Very nice. I must say the Saab folks really came out in force today. There are Saabs as far as the eye can see. And they're pretty much the only mark that did that. But really, only the Saab guys came out in force. And they really did, and it's really cool to see. Because these are getting a little hard to come by nowadays. And I think I've seen more here today than I have seen in years. And that's a good thing. I'm glad I came here. I'm glad I saw these Saabs. This one's a 2-stroke, of course. The earlier Saabs all were. And you can smell it. But it came from Virginia. It's got Virginia antique tags, which is kind of cool. This year marks the 100th anniversary of Citroën, so they have a special selection of Citroëns here. And Dodge Hemis outside, of course. Wow, these are all really nice. These SMs that had the Maserati engine, I think Burt Reynolds ruined one in one of his movies in the early 70s. Just all really nicely done. 73. You can see they put the license plate behind the glass there, and you can see the green spheres for the suspension, but these had Maserati engines and a Citroën body that was based on the DS, which of course, this car came out in 1955 and still looks futuristic now. Oddly enough, they made these until the 80s, which didn't look futuristic when they came out. Jay Leno has a great video because he owns one of these, showing how you can raise the wheels up and change the tires, and that these panels just basically unbolt with a tool that's in the tool set that comes in the trunk. But I mean, how cool is that? Someone drove this here and then just decided to take their DS body panels off to show you what it's like. This is a panhard, interesting. Okay, those are, I don't think they had a connection to Citroën, but I could be wrong. These were sold in the US for some time, but they had, I think they were flat air-cooled engines set way far back, I believe. But they had a really long hood. I think this is the first one I've seen in person. I'm not sure if it's showing up. It's almost like a very light lilac color. Very cool. And then the car that started it all, as far as modern cars, the Traction Avant, was the first mass-produced front-wheel drive car. And they made these after the war. I believe starting in 48. Could be wrong. Okay, this one's a 1950. I mean, it looks like a car from the 30s, but it was very modern underneath because it was front-wheel drive and very much mass-produced. Cord made them in the 30s, but they just didn't make them to the same extent of these. And these cars were made for like 20 years, I believe. This is a 55. And another beautiful blue DS. This 2CV here at the entrance has some German stickers on it, and that one's funny because it says that it goes from 0 to 60 in 59.4 seconds. I'm actually surprised these made it to 60. I thought they'd top out at maybe 55. But, oh, this one's in 1987. It's one of the final years of production, I believe. One of 400 sold only in Germany. There's a whole other 10 of these out here. I have never in my life seen more Citroën SMs than I have today. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure I've actually seen one in person before. But now that, you know, I'm indoors, it's really cool to check out the interior of these. Look at where the radio is placed. And these were modern. These had air conditioning, power windows, everything that was required for the US market in the early 70s, these had. This one's a manual, but they did have automatics. But I just love where the radio is placed. I mean, it's so unusual, and nobody else was doing that. And, you know, the huge AC vents in the center, with big bolstered tan leather seats with this really striking green exterior color. And I mean, heated rear window. Really cool. So we got a nice new Z, but also this Armsure Opel Senator with Polish tags. Armsure is their tuning group, 92. That's a cool car. So I heard that you might be buying Hoovie's Eldorado. Is that true?
No, it's probably sold. That's what it's
How do you know it's sold? You're hoping it's sold?
I'm hoping it's sold.
Why
so
are
I
you?
don't have to call them.
we can make
you,
this
Tyler,
deal.
damn you.
We can make this deal happen right now. I can text him right now and be like, I got someone who wants to buy your Eldorado.
I should hold off. I should hold off and just focus on my Wagoneer, but it's tempting. It's tempting.
You should have at least 2 big old American. This one's even older than
What
Wooderson.
could go wrong? What could go wrong with an even older car?
It's built like a Cadillac.
Yeah, they came from Hoovie.
Right. All right, y'all. Well, we've had a fun day here, and we've just been in the sun and we're beat. And it's Friday, so it's kind of empty here. It's the chill day, but it's my first time here, and I'm really glad we came. We're gonna hit the road. We have even more fun planned for tomorrow, but that's another video. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.
You can have fun on our motocross track this weekend with Nico Club and Nico Fest. The track is open today. Pick up the event guide and check out the schedule on page 19. Or swing by the track to connect with a Nico team member and learn more today. You can save